Hi, my name is Jain, and I've just got into Columbia for my MBA. The process started back in 2011 when I was, thinking about applying to the US for my further education. I graduated from UPenn in 2007, and after 5 years of work ex, I decided 4 or 5 years of work ex, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and apply to MBA, but I wasn't really sure where to apply. At that point of time, I was, from word of mouth, I was given a lot of positive feedback about ReachIvy, even though it was a boutique educational advisory company. I really thought that they had the right understanding of what colleges were looking for from Indians, especially. Um, Once I met Vibha, I understood that what people were talking about, and immediately signed up. Through the process that followed, I basically went through the steps with her of applying, and having already applied and got into UPenn for undergrad. I knew what the process would be like, but I actually understood that the process was completely different. Vibha took me through what kind of school I'm looking for, what I was actually hoping to get out of my MBA. And after attending some of her speaker series like the Harvard one, I found out that it was not Harvard or Stanford that I wanted to go to, but Columbia. And this was a big realization that dawned upon me only after a lot of consultation from Vibha. Uh, it was through this process that I understood that I wanted to go to Columbia, and I wanted to apply to Columbia because of the educational pattern that they have in MBA. Having done my GMAT and getting a pretty good score, one that I could apply to the top MBA colleges with, I actually thought that applications wouldn't be much of a problem at all. But Vibha and her team proved me wrong. I think there's a lot of help that we all require. We need professionals to go through our essays to guide us on exactly what MBA colleges are looking for in your application. It's a totally different ball game when you're actually applying and trying to put together X amount of years. In my case, I'm 27 years of your life into 3 small essays, and you really have to be concise but still be able to explain every aspect of what you want the the college to know about you. And I think that after editing and re-editing and editing again, we came up with some pretty good essays, and I think Columbia liked them because I got in. The one thing that I would say that puts ReachIvy apart from the other consultancies that I know was that every one of my friends that I spoke to said that they had to go to 2 or 3 consultants. One was to where to apply, what to do. One told them about the application process and what kind of what kind of like application questions, essay questions to write. And I just didn't want all this. I didn't want to deal with having to go to 2 or 3 people. I run 2 companies of my own, and I just wanted one end-to-end solution. And I thought that ReachIvy was one of the very few and rare ones that offered me one end-to-end solution where I could actually go to them and discuss the choice of school. Once we froze upon the kind of school and the kind of education that I'm looking for, I could apply to those schools. And when I'm applying to those schools, they had all the relevant information updated to what colleges were looking at every year in the applicants, and what colleges were actually interested in, because there are certain questions in every application that every college wants the student to pick up. And this was very useful for me because I saw that in the case of Columbia, I saw that there were certain aspects of a question which were more important to answer than the others. As well as, once you actually submit your application and get your essays right, I got a call from Columbia for an interview, and it was extremely important for me to know what to talk about in the interview. So the interview is a completely different ball game. It's not like your normal job interview. It's very different, very specific to the school that you're applying to, and it really needs a lot of thorough preparation, which ReachIvy really provided me. right from the interview process of what to wear, how to act, how to behave, what to say, what not to say, how to do research on the person that's actually interviewing you so you can ask him questions about his own life. These are all important facts that I don't think I would have nailed unless I had ReachIvy helping me out. With regards to even, actually having people recommend you in your application, since I run two companies, I had a whole bunch of people who I could ask for recommendations. But to actually nail it down to 3 very individual people that would give you a completely different perspective on your life so that you're not being too repetitive in your application was very important, and this was something ReachIvy really helped me with. So I would say that my experience with ReachIvy has been phenomenal, and I've already recommended it to all my friends, and I hope that you get into the school of your choice with ReachIvy.